Time is of the essence of life. What you make of it defines, evinces, and characterizes your state of happiness, contentment, sadness, and strife. It can be wasted, used up, stored, expanded, and given. It is a precious gift often taken for granted. For seconds and minutes, hours, days, weeks, and years seem of the ordinary and normal. It passes by, we opt to think there's another second to get it right. The next time, another hour left to fully understand this lesson, and another season to grow up and mature, and to make it through another year. But time has no boundaries. It has no constraints, it has no limits. It runs without you knowing it and continues without your consent. What you do with it is up to you. But while the clock's still ticking for you, you have a final chance to say yes to God's will and yes to God's way, because the next stroke of the little hand may be your last. And this time, this vast conception of a bountiful abundance of leisure spending, all at the tips of your hand, can be gone in a blink of an eye, as quick as a breath. And you will find yourself standing in front of a judgment throne with a bright light shining in your face and words ever so whispered, "What did you do with the time I have given you?" Before you can even speak, there the scroll is unraveled before you, recounting the time spent on complaining and being angry and unforgiving for past and present hurts, too scared to take a leap of faith, wasted on relationships not God spent on having fun and sensual pleasures instead of spiritual endeavors, addictions and finding ways to satisfy cravings soaked up all the time you had, making bad decisions and choosing according to your wants and not needs. Took every last moment of deciding, I will do what I gotta do for me. And when you try to look back and find the reasons, you will realize time has already elapsed for you. For you are no longer living in a form of physical time, way past normal reality, but now in a state of everlasting eternity, where you can never switch back the hand of time to contemplate, if only this, I should have done that. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, maybes will never bring you back. So before you ever get to that point, take a hold of the time that the Lord has given you, that is still in your reach, and make the best of it by loving with all your strength, giving all that you got and more, leaving the past behind, forgiving all that has hurt you and all the shame brought upon you, and move forward in peace and righteousness, the will the Lord has for you, His plan, His terms, His policies, His desires, His regulations, His wants, His hope for you are the hopes that you really desire when you think back to what transpired all the times you tried it on your own, where you made your own rules that confronted you with the grueling actuality that your ways are deceptive, full of mistakes. What a loving God who watches and waits for you to come to full repentance, with tears streaming down your face as you run back to your first love, and His arms open wide as He wraps His arms in His warm embrace, so full of grace. His ways are always perfect and ever true. It's time to stop fighting but receiving this love He has for you. For before time even began, before you even realized you were in existence, you were taking out a calendar and planning with persistence. God already wrote your story. Each subject, word, sentence, and chapter is played out with time. It's matters of trusting that He won't fail you. For it's a covenant made between two, not three, where the devil would like to be. All mixed in and placing Him in your top three when you take God out and make your number one all about me, me, me. So what the devil will do is take your plans to conspire against you, to find you at fault and result of fulfilling his expectation and not the master's anticipations. So why not bask in Jesus' time, rejoicing and thanking Him every day and taking that extra moment to reflect and accept. It's much easier to live with His yoke and burden than living with repetitive upsets. Time is everything, so use it wisely. Act on it with diligence and use it up to give God glory. So when your final stroke hits, it will be a moment of bliss and not another action of painful release. God bless you.